your boy AI across from eLive. This is what we about to
Up,
do
y'all?
today. We about to get into just a couple brief things since I know everybody's gonna be watching the Natty. I got Notre Dame. We're gonna
I
get into
also
the
got
game.
Notre Dame.
We're gonna get into the game of the week, storylines, talk about the undefeateds, what we're gonna do with streaming, and then a couple Q&As for Boss Man right here. And we're just gonna go ahead and get rocking. You
Oh
got
yeah.
anything to start off?
No. I do want to start off. We do have a new user. Cash though. He's from another league. He's a co-commission in another league. Solid user. I think we played 2K with him a couple times too. So shout out to Cash. Hopefully he can do something with Arkansas. So looking forward to seeing the ACC get a new user. So pretty dope.
Yes, sir. So the ACC is really hoop dominant. It's hoop. You got hoop and Curry in there, I'm pretty sure. So with another good user going into the ACC, they pretty much pick up their game because we got the tweaker conference in the Big Ten. You got the big boy conference in the SEC, all the big dogs, and then you got the ACC. They're kind of working their way up. Then we got the Big 12, which we should talk about in the podcast after this.
Yeah.
We need to dig into the Big 12 and see what the hell is going on in there. All right.
That Big 12 has always just been like that rollover conference, you know? It's been like that
Yeah,
conference where the new users just kind of get shoved in so they can either develop for a year or they can either figure out if this is even the right league because this is a pretty comp league. So if you're
yeah,
not if you're not on the sticks well like that, then you're not gonna last too long. So
for
I throw
sure.
most of those guys in the Big 12, but it still kind of breaks
So
down. So
it always does. All right. So that was one of the things I had too was to welcome Cash. Shout out to him. One day he carried me on 2K, whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Then we got a
good looks
shout
on the
out
dub
to
though.
literally. So we got a shout out to Virginia Tech as well. Virginia Tech weeded out Boss Man's friend.
hmm
His mud partner got him up out of the league. He got up out of the league and he gave us a compliment on the way out, which is I appreciate you guys, but y'all too fucking good. I gotta go.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I've been begging this man BGZ to come in this league for since the startup. I think it was season two. I hit him up and I was like, "Yo, man, how are you looking with time, space? You got league time?" He's like, nah. And then he finally saw the podcast, the first episode of the podcast, and he hit me and he was like, "Y'all got room?" And I was like, "Yep, we sure do. We got one spot." That man came in. I think he lost the 42-35 game to Colorado his week one or his first week in. And then after that, he got blown out by Virginia Tech and he couldn't hang. So Virginia
That's
Tech is gonna get
crazy.
a +1 incentive for next season's off-season
Yes, sir.
trade. Good for him.
And
That's good shit. I mean, he's my duo. I know he's about it. So I mean, we deep. We deep.
and one thing I will say about because I do have shout outs for Colorado in our undefeated section, but
hmm
he is a very, very good user. ISO Ghost, very good user. Man's
hmm
beat me 2 years back to back. No EATs, nothing, just straight with my ass. So big ups to Colorado. He's doing big things in the league.
Yeah, no, last year he beat me or I beat him in a 27-28 game. He scored as time expired. I think I talked about this a little bit already, but he beat me as time expired. If he had hit that 2 point conversion with zeros on the clock, or he just went for one, we go to OT, man. That game looks so different. That game looks so
Yeah. Yeah, he's super calm. He's in a couple leagues I'm into. Uh, which also, side note, so I got a couple leagues that we're in that I just want to throw out there and go ahead and give them a little promo. So we got So Fresh and So Clean podcast. I said podcast, I'm stupid. So Fresh and So Clean league. That's a pretty decent league, pretty well run. Familiar faces in it, so hop in there.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is our UNC user. He's the commish of that league. So anybody
oh, nice,
looking
nice, nice.
to, we have a few commissions. So fresh, so clean is one. We got wire to wire. That's our TCU user. He's the commish over there. We
I
got
know
Iron
Florida.
Sharpens Iron. That's our Colorado users league. And then I think you got another one too.
Yeah. So rejects we have in ours with tweakers, but y'all guys know about that. Then I know Florida promoted one today,
hmm
and Zevi promoted one today as well. So hop in the league promo, bro. Get your NCAA fix in because sometimes we're not moving like you want us to move. Get 4 leagues and shit will move. I bet it will.
Hey man, not even that, but like PTG is in year going in, or we're in year six going into year seven. So with
Yeah,
that being said, if you're looking for something that's just a little bit fresher, like no hate, it's all respect. We're trying to grow this community, like come jump in the server, jump in the league promos, find a league for you. Like we got stuff from our league that's in year six deep. We got year fours, we got fresh leagues, so
yeah.
definitely come check it out for sure.
You got to have a good mix, or you're gonna get grown stale of that shit. So,
100%.
uh, that goes straight into the game of the week. The game of the week, as of right now, we didn't bet on incentives or anything, but it is Florida v Texas. Two big dogs in the league. They've been with us for pretty much the whole time. Florida joined around the same time as me, and I know Texas is your boy, so he probably been there the whole time.
Yeah, he's been here for a
Um,
while.
yeah, so those are deep teams. Those are teams those users built. I don't know if they play tonight, but I ain't gonna lie, I got Florida in the landslide. I got Florida whooping that ass.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
fair. That's
no.
fair. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Texas has been a little shaky. I think things are a little crazy with him and his schedule just being a little busy. So I think I'm gonna give Florida that force win tonight and just keep things pushing. But that's unfortunate they didn't get to match up because those are definitely I think those were two
Two
of
top
our
dogs
preseason, yeah, top fives for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah, they were
Yeah, so
definitely in the
that
top
would have
five
been a big game, both SEC, but I don't know. So Florida's force win unless they get that in, but look, the advance is going to be the night after the national championship. So
Heard that, heard that. All right, so a couple storylines. We got TCU switching from Boise State
hmm
and putting it on Hoop. Hoop is one of the really a rising top dog trying to get up there. Had a great season last year with LSU and holding down the ACC. And now he switches to TCU, which is also in the ACC. Pretty much gives them some comp. Hurts the Big 12, like we were talking about. But it definitely boosts up the ACC. And now that we look at it, the ACC is kind of deep.
yeah, no, that's a good user. He with Boise State, he was looking a little thin too. He still made it to a Big Ten title game last year. Ended up losing to Stanford, but made it to the title game. I think he was like 4-1 with Boise before making that switch. But again, man, we're deep. So I just need you to commit to something that I know you guys can build with and stay engaged. You know what I mean? Stay active. So as long as y'all
For
have the
sure.
team that you want and y'all are rocking from there, like cool, let's make something shake. I know you beating Hoops definitely going to be some motivation to stay with TCU and build them pretty good though. They got a pretty nice squad, a lot of speed, I think, too.
For sure. And one thing I would say is big is like if you don't have a team you like, bro, you're not interested in, like I'd rather you reach out and try to switch a
Mhm.
team. I don't matter. It don't matter when, than just bouncing because like it's gonna be either hard to get back in or
Mhm.
that's pretty much the main thing. It's gonna be hard to sneak back in
No,
because
I
we got
agree.
hella people
And that's why like the three or four rollover teams that we do have, if we get those users out and the new users in during season, even if it's like week two, week three, week four, I'm still like free pick, man. Like rock out your season, find a couple like players you like, abuse them, develop them, find out how the team is, you know what I mean? Recruit, like you got computer games, so do what you need to do to get to where you need to get to compete with the users when you get there, So free pick if you come in, like just commit to the build, really. We're deep, so
for sure.
I gotta preach that. I gotta hit on that hard.
Yeah. So the next thing we got is we can breeze through this because this is a little rivalry we got brewing because they're in the Hall of Leagues together. Zevi whooping Footless's ass.
Yes, sir.
Oregon 44, Washington 6.
hmm
So Footless, you're on the clock, bro.
Hey
Yeah.
man, I know this game happened at like I think it was like 2 Yeah, I know the Zevian Footless game happened at like 2 a.m. Right after a sim because I simmed after the fights, but yeah, I don't know if Footless was happened to have a couple beers, couple drinks, but what was going on with him? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Man,
But for
so
real, I don't know. He had five picks though. So I know Zevi's got locked in defense, but I know Footless can also move the ball. That
that's
is
his
just a
biggest thing too.
crazy score to see though from Footless and Zevi.
Yeah,
I was
skiing.
thinking more of like a 35-42, like 28
Yeah,
35.
I'm talking 80 plus point scorer. Like I've never really seen Footloose get stumped like that. So when he tell me he had a little bit too much, I tend to believe him. But at the same time, I've seen Zevi on stream singing to his kid, getting user picks
I
at the
had
same
to.
time.
Yeah,
So,
I had to. I've seen him
so
literally just like turning around talking to his like girl or wife or his other and just being like casual as hell and bringing back a pick six for like 80 yards. I'm
yeah,
like, bro, come
literally.
on now. Come on. That's dirty.
What's up
That's
with you?
dirty.
Literally. All
That's
right.
dirty.
So some notes that hits close to the heart with storylines. Michigan is running the ball. How you
Oh yeah,
feeling
we are.
about your team? Your team, your individual players. Like I know you're real into recruiting your dudes, so this is your time to get off on your fucking team.
Hell yeah, man. So I think, truthfully, straight up, I think I just been playing wrong with them the last 2 years. So year one and year two, I kind of went crazy. So I had Donovan Edwards, and then I had this quarterback, Davis. I can't remember his first name, but he had like 96 speed and like 99 excel. He's kind of crazy. And I just hammered the ball. I mean, like 30 plus carries a game. I was rocking out. I was doing well. And then I kind of got away from that a little bit, started trying to throw the ball with this team specifically. It's just not working out. Last 2 weeks, I kind of started getting back into our run game with our running back and our quarterback, Mr. Damian Manziel, and that stuff's getting pretty. Hey man, he's cold, bro. But nah, that the run game's definitely getting us right. We put 68 up on Nebraska. He's a good user too. He was undefeated going into the game, so I had something to prove and we definitely put it on him. So I was excited for that. That was definitely a good outcome.
And this is kind of like a bonus, but so your strengths on offense, have you found your strength on defense with that team yet?
I have not. So I have a really, really good line with Michigan or a D line with Michigan. I have two number one recruits in the nation. I think his name's like Robert Boone and then Felix
Not yet.
Williams.
Hold up.
And
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
what's up?
Sorry, my kid walked in. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, 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 you're good.
Uh,
But two number one recruit in the nations in back-to-back class or back in 3 year spans. So in 3 years, I got two number one recruit D linemen. My D line's nice, but my linebacking core is a little shaky. I don't trust them yet. They're a little slow. They're a little slow. They're a little undersized. And it gets a little spooky in the run game. I'm not even gonna lie. I might have laid out the formula for you guys, but it gets a little spooky in the run.
real spill.
I'm glad Penn State's out though. I'm glad Penn
Hon-
State's out the Big Ten.
Honestly, the best users, they're gonna be either looking at our depth chart before, looking at our rosters before. This is and if you're not as good of a user, shit, lock in. But you need to be looking at the rosters before, but not only the rosters, but the depth charts to see what players they're putting where. It's people that put their receivers at corners. It's people that put safeties here and there and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mismatch. So you got to know who you're going against because
Well, that's the thing too, is I see people will bring safeties down to like outside linebackers and then try and hold up against the run, and that shit won't work. That that's
yeah,
that's not that's
and
bad.
that's in position change. So like I've been in a lot of leagues where like the commission's real heavy on the position change not being
Hmm.
this to that, and I never really felt it was kind of necessary because wherever you're putting to where you're going to put them out of position, and it's gonna be a hurt. So I found that receivers they go up 5, 6, 7 points. You moving the running back, so you'll have a 95
Yeah.
overall running back, but he won't be as good as a 79 actual running back because he don't have the actual attributes. He just has something that's very high that's really just cheesing the running
And
back.
the thing
You
about that
move
is
Nate
too,
Johnson.
if you take a wide receiver and you move him to running back, they get the archetype of like this is just an example I'm throwing out there real quick, but they get the archetype of receiving back, and when you do that, they just get like a silver, gold, maybe even a platinum safety valve ability, and outside of that, they can't really do much, man. Like they
Yeah.
don't have good ball carrier vision most of the time. There's a couple occasions where you do get some good position
So a couple
change.
times you could do it, yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. But most of the time they don't have good ball carrier vision and they don't have good ball carry. So most of the time they get the handoff from the backfield and they get blown up. That's gonna be a fumble, man, for real.
Yeah.
You got a lot of user
So
strippers here too. Spam
so
the
make sure y'all just locking in and not just doing stuff for overall. Pay attention to your team, lock in with
Mhm.
your actual team. Um, so that's all we got for storylines. We're gonna breeze through this, and this is the undefeated list. So we got Colorado, which is ISO Ghost. We got Alabama, which is Kid Curry. We got Florida, which is Simba King. Am I right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. You got Oregon, which is Zevi. South Carolina, what's the user's name
I don't know. He's a brand new user. I'm still getting used to him.
for South Carolina?
Shout
And
out to him
Miami, the
though. He's
same
doing his
thing.
thing.
Shout out to South Carolina, Miami for both kind of stepping into the league, dominating
Hmm.
right off the bat. Then we got Kansas, which is a user, and he is
That is
undefeated.
Splash. That's Splash.
Splash Law?
Yeah.
I bet. So he came back. He's probably doing big things. Also, y'all could join Mile Higher.
He's
He
sleeping though.
took,
He's 5-0 unranked. So he's gonna
yeah,
sneak
so,
up.
and he's going to beat somebody big too, because he always does. Uh, and I know he still runs Mile Higher. He took over Mile Higher, and they still run that with Gene. So, y'all peep Mile Higher. Um, then we got
Still running
UNC
mile
still
higher?
undefeated. Yeah.
Hey, hell yeah. Good shit, bro. Hell yeah. As long as that's still
And
rocking, man.
him and Greg told me, he's like, yeah, bro, I help him be commissioned. I'm like, no fucking way.
Nah.
No fucking way. But yeah, so
Good
like we
stuff,
said,
guys.
we got shit everywhere. Um, and then a couple things for me is SEC. Who do you have out of Oregon, Florida, and South Carolina? I'm gonna go with Oregon on this, but go
Ooh,
ahead.
man. I'm gonna have to go with Zevi too, which is Oregon. Zevi's on a heater, man.
Fucking heater, bro. What's up with this fucking guy? Bro, just send the middle fingers in the chat, bro. That's all we have for Zeddy. No more
Yeah.
talking about him on this.
I'm gonna go Zevi.
I'm
Yeah, that's it. I ain't got much else.
uh for one thing we got too is for streaming. Streaming game of the week is damn near mandatory. Like I'm not your fucking dad. He's not your, like we can't make you do the shit, but try to stream it. We got the reporter in here, our guy Decker Notre Dame. He's not only rushing for 5,000 yards this season, he's also trying to watch our streams and give you a nice little article to wake up and then talk a little shit about the next day.
Hey man, and the thing about it too is with Xbox, you can just get right into Discord and stream right in. Like if you don't want to set up a Twitch or whatever, just throw the stream into Discord. Like we got six commissions and a couple other roles in here as well too. Like we got somebody at the table who was able to watch the game that can just give a little feedback to Decker too. So
For sure, for sure. And now I'm gonna go into some Q&As before we end. And that would be, do you have any plans for next year? Anything special? Conference realignment? Like, how are you looking to spice stuff up next year? Or are you just looking to kind of just run it as planned?
So right now, I don't have anything really different coming up just because I implemented a couple new things this year. Like we have the podcast. I have the couple incentives going. So I think I'm gonna run it that way, but I am gonna spice up the conferences a little bit. I think we're gonna shake up the SEC. I don't think it's fair to them to have that much
To
fucking
have to
sweat
beat
in the
each
S.
other? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it is fair. I'll be straight up 100%. I was looking back through that, and that's just absolutely insane. So, gonna
hell
shake that
yeah.
up. I think we're gonna make it a full tweaker, bring Curry and Zevi into the Big Ten, shake up something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that, and then we'll put like Washington over into like the Big 12, and like we'll do something crazy, you know? So.
Another question I got is how many years are we running?
Honestly, I don't have a limit to it, man. I just run my leagues based off like the energy and the feedback of the users, you know? Like we can kind of feel where it's going and it's running strong. My plans are to run until the wheels fall off, which I hope is all the way up until the next game, you know? So,
Yeah,
um
And we're getting to that next year. So with the new game coming out, how do you expect to hold until everybody gets the game? Are we gonna wait? Are we gonna open it up? Because you know they'll have a pre-drop and all that good stuff. So like, are you gonna do official release date? Are we gonna do
Yeah, so I know they always do that like pre-release, like whatever,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I think before the game drops though, I think I'll probably get like a nice little roll call of like the core and like the established active users because there's a lot of guys in our server. So I think just the
yeah.
core and the
It'll be time to clean
users.
up.
Yeah, and then get a roll call for that. And then once we get there, get the roll call, get the count. I think we can probably get an actual release day on the actual PTG league and release it on one day, probably a week
Yeah,
or in between a week or a 2.5 to 3 week time frame after release day for the game, we'll have the league dropping.
but so that's pretty much gonna wrap up this episode of the PTG
Oh yeah.
show. Well, with the final thing being me personally, I live in Ohio. I was born in Ohio. I cannot wait for Ohio State and their fucking fans to lose. I just want them to lose so bad. I hate everything about Ohio State's fans. They're obnoxious. They don't think their players are good because they don't win natties all the time. They just are like they're like Steelers fans in the background. They're like fucking Cowboys fans, all those fan bases, I don't really have a team I root for other than the Browns, and I just root for them with my heart, not out loud. But like they gotta go down, and they can't. If they win this natty, our city's gonna be fucking obnoxious.
Mhm. Yeah, man, I just want to say my pick for the Natty 2, I'm probably gonna have to go Notre Dame. I'm a Michigan fan, so it's a little bit biased there, can't even lie. But I also I also think Riley Leonard is just a little bit better than Will Howard. And I think the edge is gonna be in the quarterback play in the national championship. So see.
For sure, for sure. But this
All
wrap it
right.
up. I appreciate everybody. Shout out to you.
Yes,
Till
sir.
next
I
time.
will see you guys next time.